I'm so glad you're here with us today. We're diving deep into A Course in Miracles, and if you're just joining our community, you might be wondering what this course is all about. I'd love to invite you to check out the very first video on this channel, where I break down exactly what A Course in Miracles is, how it came to exist, and why it's been transforming lives for over 5 decades. It'll give you the perfect foundation for everything we explore together here. Now, let's talk about something that might be sitting heavy on your heart right now. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but still something's missing? You meditate, you read spiritual books, you try to be kind and conscious, but there's this persistent sense of incompleteness. Maybe you've experienced moments of peace, glimpses of something greater, but they never seem to last. You touch it, and then it's gone, and you're left wondering, why can't I hold on to this? Why does peace feel so temporary? Why does joy come and go like the tide? Here's what the Course wants you to understand today, and it might challenge everything you've been taught. You can't experience truth partially. You can't be a little bit awake. You can't have one foot in peace and one foot in fear. The kingdom of heaven, as the Course calls it, isn't something you can sample or test drive. It's not a buffet where you pick what you like and leave the rest. It's total, complete, whole, or it's not experienced at all. And I know what you might be thinking right now. That sounds extreme. That sounds like all or nothing thinking, and isn't that supposed to be unhealthy? But here's the beautiful paradox the Course presents. This totality isn't a demand. It's not God standing at the gate saying, "Give me everything or get nothing." It's simply the nature of truth itself. Wholeness can't be divided. Light doesn't come in degrees. You can't be partially free. Think about it this way. You can't be a little bit honest. Either you're telling the truth or you're not. You can't be somewhat authentic. You either show up as yourself or you're playing a role. The same principle applies to the kingdom. You're either experiencing the fullness of what you are or you're believing in the illusion of separation. There's no middle ground, not because God is withholding it, but because fragmentation itself is the illusion. This is Section 7 of Chapter 7 in A Course in Miracles, and it's called The Totality of the Kingdom. We're going to explore why your partial commitment to peace is exactly what's keeping you from it. Why your attempts to hold on to just a little bit of control, just a small corner of specialness, just one area where you think you know better than love, is the very thing blocking your awareness of complete joy. But here's the relief, and I want you to really take this in. The Course isn't asking you to become total. It's showing you that you already are. You're not being asked to achieve wholeness. You're being invited to stop defending against it. You're not broken into pieces that need to be collected and glued back together. You're whole right now, and you've just been believing in a dream of separation. So take a breath. Let yourself be here fully. What we're about to explore together isn't another spiritual task to add to your list. It's an invitation to stop trying so hard and simply recognize what's already true. Let's begin. Let me ask you something that might feel uncomfortable at first. What are you trying to hold on to while also reaching for peace? Because here's what the Course reveals with absolute clarity. You cannot accept partial truth. You cannot say yes to love while keeping a backup plan in fear. You cannot enter the kingdom while dragging your old grievances behind you like security blankets. And this is where most of us get stuck. We want transformation, but we want it on our terms. We want peace, but we also want to be right about that one thing. We want to forgive, but not that person, not that situation. We want to trust, but we need to keep just a little bit of control, just in case. Does this sound familiar? The ego is brilliant at this game. It will absolutely let you pursue spirituality. It will encourage you to meditate, read inspiring books, even talk about oneness and love. But here's the catch. It will always, always convince you that you can keep something back. That you can accept most of the truth, but make an exception here or there. That you can be spiritual in this area of your life, but practical and realistic in that area. This is what the Course calls the attempt to bargain with truth. And listen carefully. Truth doesn't bargain. Reality doesn't negotiate. The kingdom isn't a democracy where you get to vote on which laws of love apply to you. It's total because it's real. And anything less than total is still illusion. Think about what happens in your own experience. When you hold a grievance against someone while trying to feel peaceful, what happens? You feel split, divided. There's this exhausting tension of trying to be two things at once. When you say you trust the universe but still lie awake at night planning and controlling every detail, what's the result? Anxiety, fragmentation, a mind at war with itself. This isn't punishment. This is simply feedback. Your discomfort isn't God's judgment. It's your own inner wisdom telling you, this doesn't work. You can't serve two masters. You can't believe in attack and know peace. You can't hold on to separation and experience union. And here's what makes this so challenging. The ego will tell you that giving up everything sounds terrifying. It will whisper, if you let go completely, you'll lose yourself. You'll be vulnerable. You'll be taken advantage of. You need to protect yourself. But the Course asks you to consider, what exactly are you protecting? A small, limited, fearful identity that was never real to begin with? The impossibility of partial truth isn't a limitation. It's actually your greatest hope, because it means you don't have to figure out which parts of the illusion to keep and which to release. You don't have to manage your awakening. You don't have to be strategic about your surrender. You simply have to recognize that anything less than everything is nothing. And when you truly understand this, when you feel it in your bones, something remarkable happens. You stop trying so hard. You stop negotiating. You stop defending your right to stay small. Because you finally realize that wholeness isn't asking you to sacrifice anything real. It's only asking you to let go of what was never yours to begin with. Now let's talk about something that will completely shift how you understand giving, receiving, and what it means to truly have anything at all. The Course makes a distinction that most of us have never considered, the difference between extension and projection. And understanding this difference is absolutely everything. Here's what you need to know. Extension is giving everything. Projection is giving selectively. Extension is sharing your whole self, your complete love, without holding anything back. Projection is carefully choosing what to share and what to keep hidden, what to give and what to withhold. And here's the part that will blow your mind. Whatever you don't extend, you literally don't have. Let me say that again because it's so counterintuitive to everything the world has taught you. What you withhold, you lose. What you give completely, you keep forever. Think about how backwards this is from everything you've been conditioned to believe. The world says, hold on to what's valuable, protect your resources, don't give too much or you'll have nothing left. Keep something for yourself. But the Course is telling you that this entire framework is upside down. In the kingdom, in reality, the only way to possess anything is to give it away completely. This is why you feel empty even when you're being generous in that calculated way. You know what I'm talking about. When you give, but with conditions. When you love, but with boundaries that are really walls. When you help someone, but keep a mental ledger of what they owe you. When you share your time, but resent every minute of it. That's projection, not extension. You're giving from lack, not from abundance. And projection always leaves you feeling more depleted than before. Extension is completely different. Extension happens when you recognize that you have everything, so there's nothing to protect. When you understand that you are whole, so there's nothing to withhold. When you realize that giving and receiving are actually the same thing because there's only one of us here. And this is where the Holy Spirit comes in. The Holy Spirit's entire function is to teach you how to extend instead of project, to show you that your wholeness isn't threatened by complete giving, that your identity isn't diminished when you share everything, that you can't lose what's real by offering it freely. But here's what stops most of us. We think that total extension means becoming a doormat. We think it means letting people take advantage of us. We think it means ignoring our needs and sacrificing ourselves. And this is the ego's most clever distortion of the truth. Total extension isn't about losing yourself. It's about recognizing what you truly are. You can't extend what you don't have, and you can't have what you don't extend. So when you extend love completely, you're simultaneously recognizing that you are love. When you extend peace without reservation, you're discovering that you are peace itself. This is why holding back even a little bit keeps you in poverty consciousness. Every time you think, I'll give this much but no more, you're declaring, I only have this much. Every time you withhold forgiveness from someone, you're binding yourself to the belief that you're guilty too. Every time you project your fear onto the world instead of extending your love, you're choosing to experience yourself as fearful, the beautiful. Liberating truth is this: you're not being asked to give from your limited human resources. You're being invited to let infinite love flow through you. And when you stop damming up that flow with your fears and conditions and strategies, when you just let it pour out completely, you discover something amazing. You discover that the source is endless, that you can give everything and still have everything. That total extension is total receiving. This isn't theory. This is experiential. The next time you're tempted to hold something back, to protect yourself, to give partially, just notice it. And then ask yourself, what would it feel like to extend completely right now? You might be surprised by the answer. Here's something you probably do without even realizing it. You split your mind across time. Part of you is here, but part of you is reviewing the past. Part of you is engaged with now, but another part is already planning tomorrow. You're physically present, but mentally scattered across a timeline that doesn't even exist. And this fragmentation, this refusal to bring your whole mind into this moment, is exactly what keeps you from experiencing the totality of the kingdom. The Course is very clear about this. The present moment is where reality exists, not the past, which is gone, not the future, which hasn't arrived. Right here, right now. This is the only place where truth can be experienced. This is the only moment where the kingdom is accessible, and you can't access it with a divided mind. You can't experience wholeness while splitting your attention between what was, what is, and what might be. Think about your own experience right now. How much of your mind is actually here? Are you fully present with these words, or is part of you thinking about what you need to do later? Replaying a conversation from yesterday? Worrying about a problem that might happen next week? This is what the Course means when it talks about the divided mind. And it's exhausting, isn't it? Trying to be everywhere and everywhen except exactly where you are. Here's what the ego doesn't want you to know. It survives on this fragmentation. It needs you to believe that the past matters more than now because that's where it stores all your guilt and grievances. It needs you to believe that the future is more important than now because that's where it keeps all your fear and anxiety. The present moment is the ego's enemy because in true presence, the ego dissolves. In complete nowness, there's no room for the false self. This is why the ego convinces you that you need to save something for yourself. It tells you, don't give your full attention to this moment, because what if something more important comes along? Don't invest your whole heart here because you might need it later. Don't be completely present because you need to protect yourself by planning and remembering and analyzing. But here's the truth that will set you free. What you're saving isn't real. You're not actually protecting anything valuable. You're just preventing yourself from experiencing the only thing that is valuable, which is the eternal now. The complete presence, the total awareness of what actually is. And this isn't just philosophical. This has immediate practical impact on your life. When you bring your whole mind to a conversation, really listen with everything you are, something magical happens. Connection becomes real. When you give your complete attention to the task in front of you, without mentally rehearsing what's next, you enter a state of flow. When you're fully present with your own emotions, not trying to fix them or understand them or make them mean something, they move through you and transform naturally. Living in complete presence is what heals the split mind. Because the split mind isn't actually a spiritual problem that needs years of therapy or practice to resolve. It's simply the habit of being everywhere except here. And habits can be changed in an instant, the moment you decide to show up completely. Now, I know what you might be thinking. But I have responsibilities. I need to plan. I need to remember things. I can't just ignore the past and future. And the Course isn't asking you to be irresponsible or live in denial. It's asking you to understand that you can only plan effectively from presence. You can only learn from the past when you're not lost in it. You can only prepare for the future when you're grounded in now. The illusion is that by splitting yourself across time, you're somehow covering more ground, being more effective, staying safer. But the reality is that a scattered mind accomplishes nothing fully. A divided attention connects with no one deeply. A fragmented presence experiences nothing completely. Here's what totality really means in practical terms. It means you stop withholding yourself. You stop keeping one foot out the door just in case. You stop mentally checking out while your body goes through the motions. You stop saving your real self for some future moment when it feels safer to show up. The kingdom isn't in the past or the future. It's here, and you can't experience it with yesterday's guilt or tomorrow's fear. You can only know it by being completely, totally, wholly present right now. This isn't demanding. This is actually the most natural thing in the world. Watch a child play or an artist create or anyone fully absorbed in what they love. That's wholeness. That's what you already know how to do. You've just forgotten because the ego convinced you that fragmentation was protection. But it's not. It's prison. And the door is open right now. So here we are at the end of our exploration together. And I hope something has shifted for you today. I hope you're starting to see that totality isn't this overwhelming demand being placed on you. It's not God standing there with crossed arms saying, all or nothing. It's actually the complete opposite. Totality is the recognition that you don't have to keep juggling fragments anymore. You don't have to manage pieces of yourself. You don't have to strategize your surrender or negotiate your peace. The wholeness of the kingdom is already yours. It's already complete. It's already here. The only question is, are you willing to stop defending against it? Are you willing to stop pretending that keeping something back makes you safer? Are you willing to bring your whole self to this moment and discover what's been waiting for you all along? This isn't about becoming something you're not. It's about stopping the exhausting effort of trying to be something you're not. You're not broken. You're not incomplete. You're not missing pieces that need to be found and assembled. You're whole right now. And the experience of that wholeness is available the moment you stop choosing fragmentation. So I want to leave you with this invitation. What are you withholding? What are you holding back? What part of yourself are you saving for later, protecting from now, keeping separate from love? Not as a way to judge yourself, but simply to become aware. Because awareness is the first step, and once you see what you're doing, You can choose differently. If this video resonated with you, if something clicked or shifted or opened up, I'd love for you to let me know by clicking that like button. It helps more people find this content, and it lets me know that these teachings are landing with you. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of people who are serious about waking up, who are ready to look at truth without flinching, who are willing to question everything they've been taught about who they are and what's real. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You know who I'm talking about. That friend who's trying so hard to fix themselves. That family member who's exhausted from controlling everything. That person in your life who's ready for a different way but doesn't know where to look. Send them this video. It might be exactly what they need today. And please leave a comment below. Tell me what came up for you. Tell me what you're struggling with. Tell me what insight hit you, or what question is still circling in your mind. I read every single comment, and this community learns together. Your question might be exactly what someone else needs to hear answered. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being willing to look at these ideas that challenge everything the world has taught you. I'll see you tomorrow with another deep dive into A Course in Miracles. Until then, remember, you are whole, you are loved, and you are exactly where you need to be.